Good morning, students. I hope all of you are well and healthy. And as I mentioned in our last class that I would take only this week as a revision week, and we will revise all those chapters that are done in the classes so far. Like I have given you the detail, the covered material is from chapter 8 to 12 is done. So what we are going to do in this week is I will pick up 2 or 3 lessons or chapters in every class, and we will revise the main terms and the important questions, and you have to prepare them at home. So it's not possible for me to collect each and everything in these slides, but what you have to do, learn those things with me, and the rest is your task to do it at home. After this talk you have to open up your books and see everything in detail. So here I gave you the pages number that 232 to 392 is all done. All the topics, main important points have been done in these lessons. So today only we will revise chapter 10 and chapter 11, the Jefferson Era and National and Regional Growth. Okay, so first lesson was about Jefferson Era, and in this lesson you had learned about the presidency of Thomas Jefferson and what were the major accomplishments of Jefferson presidency. So here we are going to revise few terms like and names. John Marshall, you should know who was John Marshall. He was a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Then we have a Judiciary Act of 1801, and it was a law, and it is very important law in history. Like it was a law that increased the number of federal judges by 16 in this law. Then there is another term, midnight judges, and you should know who were midnight judges. These judges were basically appointed by Supreme Court. They appointed to Supreme Court by President Adam late on the last day of his administration. Then we have Marbury's Madison. Marbury Madison was a court case, and it established the power of judicial review. And you should also know what is judicial review. Judicial review, it's a power of judges to declare a law unconstitutional. Then there was another very important topic was Louisiana Purchase, and it was a purchase of a land that was bought from France in 1803. And then there is an important name of leaders, Lewis and Clark, and these leaders they were the leaders of an expedition to explore the Louisiana Purchase. Then a little discussion about the War of 1812, and in that lesson you learned about the conflicts that led to the war between the United States and the Great Britain, and few of the important things like the terms you must know, like blockade. What is blockade? Blockade means selling ports to prevent other ships from entering or leaving. Then imprisonment, it's an act of seizing sailors to work on ships. And what is embargo? Embargo is a ban on exporting goods to other countries. Who was William Henry Harrison? He was a governor of Indiana Territory. War hawk. War hawk, what is war hawk? It is a term that is used basically in politics for someone who favors war. War hawk is a term that basically used in politics. Then Andrew Jackson, very important. Andrew Jackson was a general who led the American forces in Battle of New Orleans. Treaty of Ganhed, it was a treaty that ended the War of 1812. Because of this treaty, the war came to an end. And armistice is end of fighting. Let me see. Yes, it was also an agreement that stops fighting. It end to fighting. It was an agreement. Then we have national and regional growth. In this lesson, you have learnt about the different economics that develop in various sections of the country, specifically the economic system of the North and the South. Then few terms very important. Eli Whitney, he was American inventor. Eli Whitney, very famous American inventor. And what he did, he invented interchangeable parts and the cotton gin. Industrial Revolution, you must have heard this term many times. What is Industrial Revolution? It is a change in making of goods, as machines are basically replaced hand tools, and large factories replace small workshops. Then we have cotton gin. Cotton gin Alice Whitney invention. Cotton again was Alice Whitney's invention for cleaning cotton. Henry Clay. Who was Henry Clay? He was a Speaker of the House of Representatives, and he was also a political leader from Kentucky. Then American system. What was the American system? It was unification plan for economic development that Clay promoted. National road, a federally funded road. So what is national road? It is a federally funded road that was stretching from Cumberland, Maryland to Vandalia, Illinois. You just check its pronunciation again. Illinois. Okay, and then we have Erie Canal, and this canal basically connected the Great Lakes with the Atlantic Ocean. Very important tariff of 1860. It was, tariff means like a tax, and it was a protective tax tariff, and that was designed to help American industries. Next we have nationalism and sectionalism. In this lesson you have learned like about the growth of nationalism in the United States, and how the Supreme Court boosts national power and shapes foreign policies. The most important terms we will revise quickly, like McCulloch versus Maryland. It was a very popular Supreme Court case, and according to this case, they denied Maryland the right to tax the Bank of the United States. Then John Quincy Adams, he was the 6th president of United States. What is nationalism? Nationalism, it is a belief that national interest as a whole should be more important than what one region wants or the interests of other countries. Then there is another popular famous treaty, that was Adams on his treaty, and according to this treaty, this treaty secured the purchase of Florida from Spain. And Monroe Doctrine. What was Monroe Doctrine? It was a policy that warns to European nations not to interfere in the Americas. So this policy was warning the European nations. And then Missouri Compromise, it was also an agreement, and according to this agreement, temporarily settled the issue. This agreement temporarily settled the issue of slavery in the territories. Next, I have selected few questions, essential questions, but these are not the only questions you should know. There are much more than this. What you have to do, you read the whole chapter in detail, and you will also find few more questions at the end of each chapter under assessment title. So you have to learn all those questions as well. And few questions, for example, I have selected like how did Jefferson become president? Why did Americans want war with Britain? What were 2 reasons that Americans wanted war with Great Britain? What were 2 results of the War of 1812? What was the importance of Marbury v. Madison? And how did the Louisiana Purchase affect the nation? Then, of course, what was the Louisiana Purchase? You should know. What was the Missouri Compromise? What is nationalism? What was the purpose of the Monroe Doctrine? How did the agriculture system in the North and South differ? How did the Industrial Revolution change New England? And how did the American system help strengthen the nation's sense of unity? So these are the questions, few of the questions, but the rest you have to do. And at the end, like always, you have a task to prepare these 2 chapters, chapter 10 and chapter 11, and prepare them well for your assessments that might be coming soon. So meantime, take care of yourself. Hope to see you again.